My name is Maddskillz, and you are now tuned into the Spark Something podcast. And right here, I want you guys to be the best version of yourself. I want you to live out the life that God is calling you to live out, because there'll never be another you. And no one else can do it the way that you can do it. Not with the flavor God has given you. So with that being said, welcome to the show. Let's go. What's going on, guys? I'm mad excited to be back. And I say that because I had took a hiatus. I was on a hiatus. And some of y'all probably realized that after I didn't drop an episode for like 2 weeks, but literally it's been like a month almost. And I spoke to you guys last week, just letting y'all know, like, yo, it's not gonna be perfect when you first start out. I still think of myself as in the beginning stages of this thing. So y'all are seeing me like go through this process of like really kicking myself and saying, yo, like, you have to do this because it's bigger than just you. And it's true. Yo, it's true. It's bigger than just me. It ain't even about me. Yo, it's about any and everybody that's gonna come behind me. It's about any and everybody that's watching what I'm doing. It's about any and everybody that's actually paying attention to your life, the movements that you're making, your highs and your lows. And it's gonna be some people that's like, man, ain't nobody paying attention to you. Trust me, there are people out there that are watching you. There are people out there that do not want to see you do well. And you got people out there that want to see you do well. You got people out there that are spectating. And then we also have to make sure that we are not in our own way. Like, we can sit and say, yo, people sleeping on us, people hating on us, people doing such and such and such. Listen, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. And I'm going to say, no one is stopping you from getting to where you need to go as an adult. You are old enough to make your own decisions as an adult. Nobody is stopping you from getting there. You are your own worst critic. You are stopping you from getting to where God is saying that you are supposed to be. You are stopping you from being who you're supposed to be. There, I said it. I said it because I don't want anybody to have this thought process that, oh, the world is against me. This person is against me. You know, I can't do this because I'm this, and I can't do this because I'm that. You can do whatever you want. My thing is, we are so doomed by the responses of people that we don't do it because we're like, it's probably not going to be that great. And I just spoke to y'all about this last week. When you're first getting started, no, it's probably going to be trash. 9 times out of 10, 99.99999% is probably not going to be that great. That may be a stretch for some, but anyways, it might not be that great. But the reason to why it's okay that it's not that great, you have to give yourself room to grow. You have to give yourself space. You have to give yourself time to mature and to become. Like, you have to do that. When you look for other people to give you what you have to give you, you are going to miss it every time because you're going to leave yourself vulnerable for other people to tear you down and to build you up. And those same people that will build you up will also be the same people that tear you down. Why? Because they don't know what it took for you to actually get to where you are. They don't know who you had to become. They don't know the sleepless nights that you've had. They don't know the things that you endured. They don't know the things you had to let go of. They don't know the habits that you had to give up on. They don't know how much you probably don't even want to be here. They don't know what it took for you to show up. So you can't put your fate And you can't put a yes and a no in somebody else's hands. You have to do what God is calling you to do and leave it where God said leave it. People are going to like you. They're going to love you. They're going to hate you. They're going to despise you. The same people that may love you may hate you in one season. It does not matter. At the end of the day, what has God called you to do? And what is he saying right now? Oh, we just getting started and it's good already. Hello, somebody. I know I've been gone for a minute. Now I'm back with the jump off. You feel me? You feel me? I've been talking to God. And I've been going through my own little process. So I feel like I can tell you guys from experience, yo, it don't even matter. Like, whether they like you, whether they love you, whether they accept you, like, yeah, of course, we all are looking for some type of acceptance from somewhere. We all need love from somewhere, but don't allow that to be your lifeline. You feel me? Oh, preach, sis. Okay, I'll be my own amen. It's cool, but don't allow that to be your lifeline. Yo, allow your connection with God. And that's honestly, I'm gonna keep it. I keep saying I'm gonna keep it a buck, but I'm gonna continue to keep it a buck with y'all. And I'm gonna tell y'all that is exactly why I have been gone for a month. I lost sight of that. I lost sight of it. I when I first got started, my whole thought process was, I don't have the equipment for this. My whole thought process was, I don't have the mental capacity to be able to do this. My thought process was, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? It was everything I couldn't do. I was magnifying my lack. And then I had to remember, my God sister told me one thing and I'll never forget it. You are lacking nothing. Everything that you need, God placed it in you before the beginning of time. Baby, hello, somebody preach. Sis, okay, I will. I will. Everything you need, God has already placed it in you. You are lacking absolutely nothing. And anytime you feel inadequate, baby, go to God. Anytime you feel inadequate, go to him. He is the source. Everything else is a resource. Preach, sis. Okay, I am. Everything else is a resource. God is the source. So if you ever feel inadequate, if you ever feel like I'm not enough, if you ever feel like I can't do this, trust me, trust me. Everything you need is already there. But if you ever have to if you ever need a reminder, if you ever need like, hey, let me just remind you of who you are and whose you are, who you belong to, go to the source. Because when you start to look for approval, that was the word I needed earlier. When you start to look for approval from other people, you put life and death. You put your life line and your death date in these people's mouths. You put your lifeline and your death date in these people's hands. Seriously, people. Seriously. You put your lifeline and your death date in somebody else's hands when you begin to when what they say begins to affect how you move when God already told you to go. You put your life and your death date in their hands. I know this life is difficult. I know it ain't never been easy. Nobody told us it was going to be easy. Nobody told us it was going to be easy at all. But when Christ came, he showed us that it was possible, that it wasn't impossible. That's what I was about to say. When he came, he showed us that it wasn't impossible. But even if we look at his life, we know that it's not easy. I am telling y'all, bro, it's time out for pretending. It's time out for you not knowing who you are. It's time out for you pretending like you didn't hear God when he said what he said the first time he said it. It's time out for us pretending like the gifts and the things that God has given us on while we're here, for us to show him to people that we don't have these things. It's time out for pretending like we mediocre, bro. When we were created to be great. When we were created, before we were even formed in our mother's womb, he knew us. Word, hello, bars. Before we were even formed in our mother's womb, he knew us. Before the foundation of this earth, he already knew us. Our help comes from him. It's time out for forgetting like we not somebody. It's time out for allowing people or things or places or habits or things from the past to keep reminding us of who we used to be. It's time out for us magnifying our inadequacies and like, yo, this is just who I am. No, it's who you have become, because you will not step into who you really are. Because you know who you are comes with the sacrifice of who you keep telling yourself that you are. It comes with the sacrifice of letting go of things. It comes with the sacrifice. And we don't always want to sacrifice, bro. Some of us wanna live life and just be on vacation. Bro, this ain't no vacation spot right here. You want a vacation, you gotta pay for that too. So you don't think you gotta pay to walk in purpose and live your life? You don't think you gotta sacrifice some stuff and let some stuff go in order for you to really be out here and living who God has called you to live and what life he's called you to live out? You don't think that, bro? Sis, you think you just supposed to just skate through without being bothered, without being messed with, without nobody saying nothing? Man, it's going to be a lot of people that got something to say. Everybody got an opinion about something. God done already told you who you are. And I'm saying this because this is something that I needed a reminder of within the month that I have been MIA. I'm saying this now for myself. So if don't nobody else listen to this episode, I'm going back to hear it because I needed this. What this podcast is something that I needed when I was younger. And now that I'm older and I've grown and I've matured and I said, you know what, God, you've called me to do something different. You called me to be greater. I could have died years ago. I didn't have to make it to see my 30s. You could have took me out of here. You didn't even have to put me here, but you put me here for purpose. You put me here for a reason. And that reason isn't getting lost in being distracted in what's going on in the world and who's saying this and what's happening over here and who likes me, who cares enough about me to support this and support that. I'm not going to front with you, bro. The people that you know, the people that love you, the people that are related to you, the people that watched you grow up, the people that took baths with you, those people might not be as supportive of what you were trying to do. They might not be as supportive of your purpose and your calling. I said this before. They may not be your crowd. Those may not be the people God is calling you to talk to. They may come later on down the line. But because they don't support you, that doesn't mean that you stop. That don't mean that you stop. Keep going. Keep striving. Keep becoming. Keep going. Your clock is still ticking. If God gives you another day to open up those beautiful eyes of yours, I don't care what they look like. If He's giving you another day to open them up, that means it's another day for you to get stuff done. I had a reminder a couple days ago. I was at work, and I ain't even got to go into detail because it's a long, drawn-out story. And to be honest, I don't feel like taking myself back there. But I'm only going to talk about it because it gave me a revelation to realize what I'm doing outside of work, what God is calling me to do outside of this podcast, some other stuff that God has me working on, that I'm not doing it in vain. And that he is saying, listen, I tried to tell you before now. Now I gotta show you, now that this is why I said this is what I'm calling you to do. Something happened at work. It ruffled my feathers, and I was stuck on this thing the entire day. The next day I woke up, which is yesterday, which is the day before I'm recording this. So, yesterday, because when this is released, it probably will be released in like 2 weeks from now. But the day before I recorded this episode, I woke up and I didn't feel that feeling. I was actually off that following day, but God was just like, I want to spend some time with you. And in that moment, I realized that I had been harboring those emotions and those feelings from the day before at work, and it literally clouded my entire day. Like there was a cloud over me the whole day. I can't remember the last time I allowed something to affect my entire day and my mood like that. And when I spent time with God, I said, God, I don't ever want to go back to her. I don't ever want to go back to that person that feels like she's broken, she's helpless. I don't ever want to go back to the person that harbors things and feelings and emotions. I was like, God, I didn't even know that it was really sitting on me that heavy, but I don't ever want to be that heavy because I got stuff bottled up. I have been able to release things in this season of my life, and I've been able to say, you know what? Nope, I'm good. I don't have the energy for this. Because I'm realizing that I don't have the energy for certain things. And when I say that, that allows me to let it go. Now, when I say I don't have the energy for certain things, it's certain things that I don't see any growth in for myself, for the other person. It's like people just want to nitpick, or they just want to argue, or they just want to keep going. Like, I don't have the energy for that. I don't have the energy to give into this when after all of this is said and done, after we're done talking or arguing or whatever, nothing is going to come to, we're not going to come to some type of resolve. Whew, I ain't got it. I ain't got it. Pick somebody else. I ain't got that. I ain't got that energy. I'm not on that energy no more to where I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. Like, nope, I'm not ready for that. You can have it. I don't feel like arguing. I ain't gonna fight with nobody. I'm not going to try to convince anybody to think the way that I do. No, I ain't got it. Pick somebody else. I will sit there and you can talk until you are blue in the face. Now, anything that comes out of my mouth, if it's like a disagreement, I will listen to you. You can listen to me. If there is no resolve and I see that this conversation is going around in circles, nope, pick somebody else. I'm not the one. Not anymore. Not anymore. I don't have it in me to sit there and go back and forth. I put my hand up. Nope. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I wasn't always like that, but now I can't allow certain things to disrupt my peace. Anything that disrupts the peace that I had to fight so hard to get. I can't let you do it. Pick somebody else. I don't have the energy to fight with somebody. They'd be like, okay. Like, it has to be somebody that I genuinely love and care about to where it's like we both want this thing to work. If that's not what it is, nah. You have to be cautious and you have to guide your heart. You have to guard your heart. I said guide it. Allow God to guide it, but you have to guard your heart. Yo, guard it. Because the peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world can't take it. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. And at work, an issue happened, an incident happened, and I was rubbed the wrong way. And I got in my feelings, I got in my emotions. I was still at work. But that whole day, I spoke to some coworkers about it. I spoke to Anthony about it. Like that whole day, I allowed that whole day to go by and be stuck on that. You know how distracting that is? Do you know how okay the enemy's like, all right, yeah, I got her. So if she's stuck on this, she won't really understand that this is something that God is using to show her, like, yo, I get it. You right here, but where I'm taking you is going to be so many other people that have so many other things to say about you. And I'm going to need you not to respond like this. Because you're going to be a representation of me, which you are, but I need you to understand that as your representation of me, I need you to release all of what you were harboring into me. That is something that God was using to show me there is still some work that I am doing in you. And he uses certain things and certain people and certain situations to pull these things out of us, or for them to come up to the surface. And when they come up to the surface, God's like, there it is. But it's having the discernment to understand that that's what's going on. And I was so blindsided by it, y'all. I didn't even see it until it was too late. Then the next morning, God's like, spend some time with me. Let me show you something. And when he showed it to me, I've been on 10 ever since. I was like, yeah, okay, I saw that. I see it. I see it now. And from there, God's like, this is why I need you to stay focused. I've been focused ever since. So I want y'all to remain focused and not allow people, places, or things or situations that's going on, or even give your focus, get into the distractions of people. God has called you to do something greater. And what God is calling you to do isn't even just for you. If they don't support you, if they're not behind you, if they don't get it, trust me, God will provide the tribe. Trust me, there will be people that come along on your journey to say, hey, I love what you're doing. And because I love what you're doing, I just want to be a blessing to you. Then boom, there you go. God will provide the tribe. But I pray that this episode helps someone out. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for all the likes, the comments, the shares. Thank you so much for hitting me up in my DMs, for emailing me, for all of that good stuff. Just for all of the support, the love, and every single step of the way of this journey that I am on. Even when I don't feel like I'm enough, God already shows me and he reminds me every single time. Like every single time you take this leap, I'm right here with you. In fact, when you take this leap, you're going to meet me on the other side. I'm with you and I'm on the other side. I'm everywhere. So as he takes me on this journey and he reminds me each and every episode that I drop, like, yo, I told you to do this. I'm with you. You're not out here alone. I want to remind you guys of the same thing. If you are out here on this journey, walking into purpose or walking in purpose, or getting there or becoming or maturing or whatever it is that you're doing right now that God is calling you to do, it might be scary. You might feel inadequate. Trust me, I understand. But God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good, and he will lead you and guide you. And you are not out here by yourself. I love y'all. I appreciate you guys. This has been your girl, Maddskillz. This is another episode of the Spark Something podcast. And I hope this sparks something in your life. And I'm out. Peace, baby.